the guys that are on the roster here now at quarterback?
I recruited when I was at North Texas. I recruited down in San Antonio, so I saw Quentin when he was a younger. You know, he must have, I think it was a sophomore, junior, I believe, and I recruited his dad's high school down there in Bernie. So I got to know him a little bit. I kind of watched him practice during the spring, if I remember right. But I never would recruit him. I knew he was going to be a high-profile quarterback, so it was going to be tough to recruit. So, but I knew of him. Yes, I did know him.
Did you know his dad well at all? Did you talk to him about this job or anything?
No, that's you don't go that way. You know, that's something we don't do. You know, so but it's that. But I do know who he is, Mike. Yeah, because I recruited his school.
What do you get out of working at a place like North Texas, where you're the underdog?
Sure.
It's almost like you've got to draw. I know they always say it comes down to players, but a lot of times you probably had to scheme for everything you got against some opponents, right?
That's what I think makes you a good coach. Makes you a better coach. You're going to handle a tough situation, and you're going, okay, I got to try to ways to manipulate the defense and get the situation I want or look I want defensively. So how are we going to do that? You kind of creative ways to do things, and I think that it just forces you to really look at things. How can you take this group and get them to believe in themselves, to get them to play at a high level? Tough situation, but we did some things. We turned that program around, went to a bowl game, beat UNLV in the heart of Dallas Bowl. So there are things, but I always want to look at it this way. My career has always been a hard way. I don't know any other way.
Right.
And it's just line up, strap up them laces, tie them up, and go as hard as you can, and give it all you got, and try to be the best you can. I just don't know any other way. And just being positive in it. That's probably the one thing you're going to see about Mike Canales or about myself, is that I'm one positive person. I'm enthusiastic. I'm passionate about coaching quarterbacks. It gets me up every morning. All I want to do is get up and try to watch film, and whether it's YouTube or wherever, I'm always asking questions. It will not faze a high school coach when I walk in and say, tell me your quarterback drills. What are you doing right now that's something that's different? Because I'm looking for new ways to interject some excitement into quarterbacks. I always make sure that we have different drills going on each and every day so our kids get better. I think that kids want something new. In the National Football League, they want to know how do we stay on this level? How do we get better? How are you going to help us stay in the National Football League? That's what they want to know. How are you going to make us better so we can be successful?
And what does it mean to get this opportunity at this stage of your career? Again, I know you've been in some prominent places, but I've got to think when you walk in this building and look at the facilities and the kind of players you're going to be working with, maybe this is better than you've seen it most places.
Yeah, it reminds me of the days that, when I was at North Carolina State, we had some pretty good athletes last year were drafted, and it was successful. But to walk in here, and I'm looking forward to seeing these young men. It's going to be a thing that I'll look at and go, yeah, now we got something to work with, and it's going to be exciting for me. It's going to be exciting. I remember when I was here in 2015 as interim head coach against them and going, okay, I'm looking around and going, wow, this is impressive, this is fun, 102,000 people, and they're going crazy. And it was a great opportunity for me, and to go, one day I'm going to be here. I just thought that in my mind, one day I'm going to be here. I didn't know if it was going to be at the University of Tennessee, but it was going to be in the SEC. I just had that. I had that feeling I was going to be in that situation, and it's presented itself, and I'm looking forward to run with it.
Obviously, you're recruiting quarterbacks all over the country. Do you know what regions you'll be assigned to?
Not yet. That's something that we've discussed, briefly, and we'll make a decision. I know that we'll try to get on to some kids for the next year, 2018 class. I've been on researching them over the last about a week or so, really just kind of get in to watch them as much as I can on Huddle and see where they're at and watch them so I can take some notes down and have a pretty good idea of where we want to go, and then get with Butch and Larry and everybody on the offensive staff and say, this is what I'm thinking, this is what you guys are thinking, tell me where I need to go, and let's go get it, because I'm excited to get on the road and recruit for the University of Tennessee.
Mike, I apologize. I came over here late, so you may have already, I'm sure you've already talked about Larry, but having played, having coached him and coached with him, I guess as a first-time coordinator, what in him do you think can make him be successful, even though he's maybe doesn't have experience or whatever?
I think it's the people around him. I mean, he's been, let's be honest, he's coached at University of South Florida. We did some pretty good things, got to number 2 and got to number 10. That's an impressive thing to be doing, and he was part of that staff, and he was part of our success. So he's seen it all happen. And then to go down to the University of Miami, and he was successful down there and what they did. So, I think he'll be successful no matter what he does. He's got it in his blood. He works as hard and tireless as anyone I've ever been around. He knows work ethic. We learned that from Jim Levitt. That's one thing we learned from Jim was work ethic, man. We'd get there early in the morning. We probably wouldn't leave till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. We just knew how to work. We were going to find a way to get it done, get our kids to believe and play for each other. And I think that's what he did. I think he'll be in that situation where good things will happen.
When you coached with him, I guess the second time you were at USF, did you think that he had potential to be a pretty big-time coach at a big-time school, the head coach?
There's no doubt in my mind. You could see it happen. His work ethic was, you don't see it often. It's hard to match what he does, because he was willing to come to work every morning. He was willing to stay late, burn the midnight oil to find a way to get it done. And he had great ideas. We'd always throw ideas on the board, and he had some great ideas on how to move the football. And so I'm excited for him. I'm excited to be a supporting cast and help him do this. It's going to be fun to watch him be successful. It is.